I am Dr. Paneerselvam.
My dear friends, this is a video about what next. The title of the video is What Next. Let us see what is the next. It is based on our close observations. Number one, there is a common park in the city where two elderly persons are sitting and talking something on some serious subject. Though it's a common park, people should not be easily disturbed. There is a young boy, it's about youth, aged about 18 years. He is using his mobile very loudly talking with his friends. So one of these elder person requested him talk like little slowly because we are troubled, disturbed. Why don't you move and talk in some other place or not to trouble us? So the youth has responded in such a way that, see, this belongs to everybody. This is a common park. How can you order me not to talk loudly? So I got a liberty, I got a freedom to talk to my friends. You can't prevent me. Still, I think, no, since you have told me I can talk a little louder. So my question to the audience, what should be the next? What action to be taken next? Secondly, when many people are riding vehicle on the road, there are areas known as prohibited where people should not park. And as we know that people should drive the vehicle with a valid license, valid documents. So when police stops, the people could not produce sufficient documents to prove there is a validity to drive the vehicle. So the police constable filed a case and asked him to pay the penalty, and vehicle is also be under their custody till they pay the penalty. So argument took place between the two. So finally the constable decided not to leave the vehicle, took the key, and he asked them to contact the police for further steps. So the question is, when you go to the rail station or when you reach the police station, hundreds of vehicles are lying. It has been kept pending for years together. So what should be next? Whether it could be decided by the constable or sub-inspector or inspector, or if the matter is referred to the court, whether it is a municipal court or the high court, what could be the course of actions? What would be the next? So when the motorcycle is going to be released? The second instance. Third instance, it's a place where there is an employment opportunity created for non-skilled laborers. There are about 15 people. Out of 15, 12 of them are coming in different timings. The actual timing is 8:30. There are people coming 8:45, 9 o'clock, giving different excuses. So our question is, if you take it to 3 samples, one comes at exactly at the time, that is 8:30, and leaves his place at 5 o'clock. Another one comes at 8:45, he also leaves at 5 o'clock. And the third gentleman, he comes again maybe 8:50 and leaves office at 5 o'clock. So out of 3, the person came first, that is came on time, was unable to complete the work. So to keep the work completed for the next day or engage himself to complete the work, he is claiming overtime, that is OT. The second person came little late and he was able to complete the work on time even though he came late. And the third person who came still late and he kept the work pending, and to complete the work he had to stay for another 30 minutes, and he also claims OT. Now the manager who sits there, unable to decide among the 3, that is the case. When you are in the sitting bus while you are traveling, there is an old person, either a male or female, standing, unable to get a seat. A youth who sits on the seat looks at them, smiles at them, but he doesn't spare his seat. So another gentleman asked him to vacate so that the elder person can be seated. But he was staring at the person who gave this proposal, saying that who are you talk about it? It is my seat. I got ticketed. You can't ask me to stand. If elderly person have come inside, they could have checked whether seats were available. So it is their mistake. So I should not be held responsible to give the seat to them to accommodate. So now you can come across different kind of people. So when I request a person in the park to give a seat for the elderly person, it was already occupied by only single person. So when I requested him to give accommodation for another person, even though the space was there, that youth replied that, see, this was occupied by me already. Even though it is a four-seated, it is occupied by me. Why should I spare my other place to other people, whether it is elder or junior, whoever? See, this is how I think, we have been living. I don't know what next, but nobody knows what next. And there is a lack of togetherness that prevails everywhere. So I leave it to audience to decide what next, because this scenario where we live in, that what to take and what should be the next decision to be. So I leave it to decide by my audience. Thank you very much.